Hey there YouTube world, it's Matt Schwartz here, the Wildly Geek, and in this episode I wanted to show you guys how to make just a simple face mask. With all this stuff that's going on with the COVID-19, it's sounding like they're going to start recommending people wear face masks when they go out in the public, and I think that's a smart idea. The face mask I'm going to be making here is not to protect from actually breathing in the virus or that sort of thing. It's not a filter mask, but what it's going to do is, like, if you have the COVID-19 and you don't know it and you're out walking around touching things and breathing, it sounds like you're breathing that virus out without even coughing and sneezing. Just through breathing you can be breathing it out. So what this is going to do is be like a muffler for your face. It's going to help you keep all that virus stuff in your little circle and keep it off of the stuff that's around you. It's also, if you don't have it, going to protect you from touching as I'm touching my nose and mouth. But it's going to protect you from doing that from when you're out in the grocery store and you're grabbing stuff, your nose itches and you go itch your nose. If you've got a mask on, it's going to help protect you from directly putting that virus in your face. So I'm going to show you how to do a simple mask. It takes some sewing. I've been working on this for about a week, just trying to figure out, the simplest is just going to be a handkerchief or something around your face. But something a little more cool, a little more customizable. I'm going to show you some not off the wall, but different materials you can use that you're not thinking about, so you don't have to go to the grocery store, to Walmart or whatever, or to the Joann's Fabrics or what. Anyway, I could probably cut that and redo it. I'm also going to be showing you guys on how and what you can use for your face mask. You don't want a material that you can't breathe through. You know, some air needs to be moving back and through it. And it sounds like there's a lot of materials being bought up right now, which is awesome. That means there's people out there making masks for the people that need them. I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to make mine out of a tablecloth from Walmart. You can buy like a tablecloth for like 10 bucks or something like that and have like 2 or 3 yards of material that's going to work just fine. This will also keep the average Joe Schmo from going out and buying those N95 masks that the doctors, the nurses, the first responders, the people cleaning the hospitals keep those masks in their hands. They're the ones that need that. All us average Joes should just be doing what we can to make a simple mask, just like I said, from keeping us from breathing on everything and keeping us from touching our face and nose and mouths and all that stuff when we're out in public, when we need to go out in public. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys how to do here is make a template. Like I said, I've been working on this, trying to make it as simple as possible. In all my videos I always talk about templates, so I'm going to show you a quick template, and then we'll get cutting the mask out and sewing it. I mean, this mask really only takes, if you've used a sewing machine before, about 10 minutes or less. I mean, it's super quick. So and you can make some really fun ones, so I'll show you that here in a minute. But let's start here. This is my original template that I made. I'm just going to show you. This is how simple it is. The first thing you can do is fold this piece of paper in half, just like that. You can get a ruler, tape measure, and you're going to measure down from the top 5.5 inches. Here on the fold side, this is the fold, 5.5 inches, and on the non-folded side you're going to measure down 6.25 inches. Okay, and if you don't know how a ruler works, 6.25 is, it's hard to explain, I'd have to teach this whole thing, but 6, you go with 1/8 quarter, or 6, that's a 16th, that's an 1/8, that's 3/16, that's a quarter. So 6.25 and 5.5. The 5.5 is directly in the center. You're going to make your line, and then you're either going to grab a pair of scissors and cut that, or I have my fancy schmancy roly-poly, and this is your template for your project. Alright, so I'm going to grab all my materials. Now that that's done, I'll grab my materials, my sewing machine, and show you what to do next. Alright, materials. First things first is you want a material that you can actually move air through. not a lot, but you can actually breathe because you don't want to suffocate yourself. So don't buy those materials that are waterproof, that have coatings on them that are not going to allow you to move air somewhat through them, gradually through them, because then you're going to suffocate. So make sure that your material is actually somewhat breathable. So like I said, this material here is actually a tablecloth. Obviously I use this for costume stuff, but you can go to Walmart and buy a tablecloth and get a couple yards of material for really cheap. And then you can have cool, this is why I bought it, it has a cool design in it, right? It's hard, if you're buying this and from a fabric store, it might be really expensive. So if you go to the fabric store and there's no fabric, go to your all-purpose store, Walmart's or Myers or wherever you're at in your country, whatever you have, and buy a tablecloth. This is actually what I'm going to be making the mask out of, just because I want to make it as simple and give you as many options as possible. And you can have fun with this now. If this is something we're going to have to do for a while until they get a vaccine and wear masks out in public, let's have some fun with it. Let's get your personality out there. Camo. These are some handkerchiefs I actually made a long time ago when I was doing knife stuff. I was shipping them out with knives, but you can do Marvel characters or geckos, Star Wars, or we probably don't want that one. Mario, Moon, you know, all this cool stuff. You can choose your pattern if they're available at your fabric store. So like I said, let's have some fun with this. This is a crappy time. Let's try to find the joy wherever we can. So yeah, with this design, you're gonna need just one tie. I've got all sorts of stuff. You can use a shoelace, yarn. This is some shock cord, paracord you can find. There's all sorts of different colors. So any type of string you're gonna need too. So with that being said, find fabrics that you can breathe through. Let's have some fun, have some color. We might have to be doing this for a little while, like I said. So next step, let's get our stuff cut out and get it sewn, and I'll show you how quick this goes. All right, time to cut some material. I've got my tablecloth material here. Got my template that we just made. You're gonna want to take your tablecloth and fold it in half. You're gonna want to take your material, fold it in half. If you have nice straight lines, you can make it so you don't have to cut all the way around it, but I have kind of this wonky piece of material here, so kind of pat this down right here. You're just going to take your material, your template, put it on this fold, so you have your fold of your template on your fold of your material, and either you'll have to mark this out with like a white pencil or fabric pencil or whatever and pin it together and then cut it with scissors, or if you have one of these rolls, I'm gonna hold it down here, cut there, cut there. Let's move my stool out of the way. Cut there and there. Now we have our ta-da! Fabric all done. Alright, I'm going to grab the sewing machine and stitch this together. Now we'll go quick and I'll kind of show you what's up from there. Alright, let's get our sewing machine. Alright, now I went ahead and grabbed my daughter's sewing machine, and the reason why is because it's a super simple sewing machine. I want this whole process to be as simple as possible, sewing wise. So I got her sewing machine. As you see, it's a beautiful Singer. We're just going to use the straight stitch. And so let's get sewing. Alright, so we're going to grab our fabric, and you have it folded like you cut it out. And so let me see if I can explain this. So our fold is here. This is the part of the template that we cut off the bottom that kind of tapers up. You're going to fold it in half, and you're going to bring this up here like so. You're going to use the edge of your foot here as your guide, okay? And we're going to start stitching this way. And actually, on this template, I'm actually going to swing the stitch up here, and I'm using this green thread so you can kind of see how I'm going to do it. If you want it to be super simple, just go straight off the edge. But I like to round this up here just for a little better fit, and so you don't have this big pokey thing off the front of your nose. So when you start this stitch, go forward like 2 or 3, and should be a lever on your sewing machine, and that will knot your stitch. All right, so I'm just gonna sew this down here. When you get about here, you're gonna want to start turning this up a little bit. Try to make a little bit of a radius here. And the reason why I didn't put that in the template is because it would have been a little bit harder. And I figured you can just do that with your sewing machine. So when you're at the end of your stitch, make sure, my scissors, make sure that you knot that end of your stitch too. All right, we'll cut those. Actually, you can either snip that with your scissors. I'm just going to take the roly-poly machine and just cut that off like so. Alright, next thing we're going to want to do is turn this inside out like so. And where you started the stitch is going to be the bottom of your mask. The part on this is going to be your top. You want to start at the bottom, and we're just going to hem this back up a little bit, Jake. You're going to fold this over about 3/8 to 1/4 or half or whatever you feel like. We just have to hem this bottom edge. This is going to be the hardest part probably of this. And using the edge of the foot again, rolling this over, go forward a couple, go back a couple, and then stitch this. It's called a hem on the bottom of the mask here. Forward, back. Alright, and then we're going to stitch this top edge, and on this top one you want to fold it over a full inch, and we're gonna sew it here, and this is going to be a little channel or area for our line to go through. So bring it over about an inch. We're going to use this side of the edge of the foot now to guide our sewing. Forward a couple, back a couple. And go slow, you don't need to go super fast. You can go this slow if you hit the pedal just right. There should be a variable speed in the pedal on most sewing machines. Forward, back. Alright, back up, Jake. That is basically the mask. This thing fit like this. Alright, and I'm going to put the string in, and then, yeah, that's more or less it. So let me show you how to get the string in there. Alright, now comes the actual hard part, is feeding this. I've chosen some 550 paracord for this deal that matches. Like I said, you can use a shoelace string. You don't want to go too small because it's going around your head. Shoelace string, just something to feed through this little channel that we made. And if you're dealing with paracord and you cut that end, use a lighter, Careful, you'll burn your fingers. Melt the end, let it go, and just pull it off like that. Give yourself a point. And then just feed it through this top edge. Come on. Where? Like I said, this is gonna be a pain. Okay, there, I got it. Once you got that done, actually, don't probably need to do that. You'll have to be creative on how to make this fit comfortably around your head. You might be able to use elastic, like that bungee cord is pretty comfortable. But I've got these things, and you might be able to find some of these things on some of your old jackets or whatever. It makes it really handy. You want this top side to be nice and flat. And bam, you've got a mask. Yay! Go back a little further. Alright, so like I said, what this is doing is not necessarily keeping you from breathing in the virus. It's not a filter, but what it's going to do, like I said, it's going to keep you from, if you do touch or itch your nose, from touching it directly. It's also going to protect you from, when you're breathing, you know, you're moving a lot of air. Maybe not that much. But when you got the mask, you know, it's that I'm getting lightheaded. It's that muffler in your face to keep your air within this area. So, anyway, guys, I hope that was informative. Makes a pretty cool looking mask. If you use some of the Marvel stuff in Star Wars, you can have just a trendy, cool looking mask if we're gonna have to end up wearing these things for a while. But like I said, my name is Matt Schwartz. I'm the Welding Geek. Stay safe out there, guys. We're gonna get through this. This time really is stinking, and I hope you guys aren't going crazy, being trapped in your houses like we are a little bit here. But we're gonna get through this. My name is Matt Schwartz. I'm the Welding Geek. Thanks again, guys.